Hey guys, there B2, and we're going to look at a very quick update to Applied Energistics 2, but there's so much that has gone on in the past day or so. Wanted to put out an update and kind of share some next level stuff with you, as far as not like next gen top of the line, but just next level of our upgrades on here. So if you notice, there's a ME interface terminal which Jake made. He built the system of molecular assemblers back here, and it's specifically to do some auto crafting. So, and he's maxed it out, you can tell, because 32 channels coming in. And if you look at the individual side, there's like 2 of 8 channels. So it's going to pull it's going to pull a channel from here, right? Because you can tell by the line right there. Then it's going to come down and pull a channel from here, which is 2, and then it's going to feed into this one, which goes to 8. So there's 2 from this side, right? There's the 1 2 and 1 2 there that goes into 4. But then you've got these 2 channels here, which makes it 6. And then another 2 channels on the side over here, which makes it 8, and then it goes into the smart cable on up. And what he's done is replicate that 4 times. So there's 8 channels here, 8 channels there, 8 channels there, and 8 channels there, and it maxes out the dense cable at 32. Like, that's just some all-around solid building right there. As we come back through here, then you can actually see all these channels right here. There are 32, right? That's where the molecular assemblers match up to. And then you can start putting patterns in them. And the great thing is, like, if I want to move this one to this assembler down here, I can move it back to there. The pattern moves between all of them. And so what you try to do is put all the similar things on different channels. And I know that kind of doesn't make sense, but just follow me. Like, you don't want to have to make a piece that needs both of these and then have to wait while there's a molecular assembler unavailable, because you've got both of these on one and it's trying to make the same part. Why not have them being made on different channels so you can speed through whatever part that you want? And that'll make sense once you start crafting. Well, look at this, Advanced Inscribers 4, and there are 4 different patterns in here. Why is there 3 on 1? And I'll show you. You've seen this area before, but the auto crafting you haven't. Is back here. There is 3 on here, right? And then each one of these have 1, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, what about this one? Well, this is just a regular inscriber that has, it's making my silicone. So it's bringing in the silicone ball, it's making the printed silicone in here, and shooting it back out to the ME system there. So that's not really, I don't really need a terminal on there. Well, let's say if I wanted to change the patterns around a little bit, I could take this one and put it to there. And then if I go and I look at the calculated one and look inside, well, now there's 2 patterns in here. There was only 1 before. So if I take this out and I come back over to the terminal in here, now I'm missing a pattern. Well, I got it here. I can put it back in, and it shoots back to the back one. So let's run back there and verify, and boom, 3 patterns. So you see how this works. It saves you a ton of time running back and forth to interfaces, and you can put up walls and not have to break a wall to get behind it and waste the time to go back there. You can just come to your interface terminal, pull it up, and bang, there it is. So we've talked about the molecular assemblers. The crafting units, we've upgraded to 16Ks, and that just means it can hold larger things, right? Instead of making 1 or 2 of something, you can make, 10 or 11 or 50. And if you upgrade those to 64s, you can hold, you can do a couple thousand items into one crafting storage, and that'll get more towards end game, but we'll show you that when it comes to that time. Let's say I wanted to make some more Certus quartz seeds, right? I wanted some pure Certus, and I wanted to make 10 of them. I can go in here and hit 10 and craft, and look, it starts to craft them up here on the box, which means it's going to fill this up and start throwing seeds into there, right? And then if you look, this is what it's waiting on. It's scheduled 8 seeds to be made, but really we should have those seeds in there. It'll start making them and crafting. See, it's crafting here. And then it's shot over because there's 6 more to be made. And so if I look inside, now there's more in here. And so it's crafting, it'll make more, and blah, blah, blah. So you get the hang of that, basically. I don't need to belabor that point. It's an automated crystal growth chamber. And so if I look on here, I can look down to crystal growth chamber. Let's say I needed to make, let's say nether, the pure nether, right? So let's type in the word pure, and then it comes up. I can put it into there. It's another quartz seed, can be made from nether quartz dust and sand. Okay, well let's go in here and see, do we have nether quartz? Do we have, let me look real quick. Quartz, if I can spell it right. I don't have any. Yeah, I got some crushed quartz, and then I've got some sand, and then let's move over to this terminal. Jake is making something in there, so let's get this out of there, and then boom, boom, and then we'll make this seed. So we need to take these out and see what he's doing. Is we can follow along in here. He's making patterns to change stuff, right? So he's gonna make some more patterns and throw them in, and then now he's going into here and he's putting it into there. So anyway, we're gonna make a pattern here. We're gonna get rid of his stuff because I think he's done. I hope he's done, and we're gonna make this. Okay, this is not making the seed. I need a seed, so let's make one in here. And I gotta tell it what to make, right? It's gonna make this and this, make this. So this and this make this now, basically. It turns into the 2 seeds. You print the pattern on here. We'll clear the terminal for somebody else. Now we'll go into here and we'll look down in the crystal growth chamber. We'll put this in there, and then we'll throw the seed in, and I'll show you guys. If I hit here, and he's making something, we'll give him a second on there. I'll show you some of the automated processes over here while he's fooling with that. I tried to keep it by sections, and so we did this all before and filmed it, and so now this orange section has popped up, and look at all these pulverizers and redstone generators. So the first and foremost is into here. We're going to pull these 9 ores into this pulverizer and just make the dust. Now I used to have it just take the pulverized and cook it right away, and I changed that to be where I only want to pull in certain things and cook it, and that's iron, aluminum, lead, tin, and nickel. And so if you look in here, tin, aluminum, silver, lead, some zirconium, which that's not part of mine, and some coppers. But you can basically see that I just want to automate what's coming out of the miner into there, right? So if you look at this pulverizer, this guy is just doing Certus into Certus quartz crystal, because we are forever needing that stuff. So this pulverizer is going to be bringing in these 3, and this pulverizer brings in these 4. And the reason I split it up is because once the miners are upgraded, they're going to be throwing all kinds of ores into the ME system, and then I don't want to have one pulverizer not be able to keep up with the deal, so I just split them onto that. Last guy over here is making nether quartz and pulling in from here. It's not pulling anything because I haven't got it set. So anyway, let's go and see what quartz, if we have any. First of all, QUA. Yeah, see, we don't have any coming in. Then do I have it set somewhere else? Let's see. I do have it set to go in there. Oh, so this was to make the dust. It's going to export this and make the quartz dust that we use, and I can show you. I got a little bit confused. There's so much going on. That is making this dust right here, this crushed quartz, and I need that to make these quartz glasses, and I also need them to make cables and all kinds of things. So it does seem like 700's a lot. Won't be over time. Then we have here, we started using level emitters here for redstone furnaces, and this is to cook silver. Now, I don't need a whole bunch of silver ingots for anything, but I do need silver, the pulverized silver. So I set a level emitter at 1,000 silver ingots. When it gets to 1,000 silver ingots, it shuts power off down to here. See how it's not emitting? So I went down there and I did a below, the power comes on, it starts cooking. But I don't want that, because I don't want an ME system full of silver ingots that I'll have to just throw into a pulverizer and crush again anyway. So I only keep 1,000 in the system. I do the same thing with copper, and I do the same thing with gold. I am a little bit short on gold, though. Like I said, the miners are not keeping up with demand, and so if I go into here, I type in gold, you can see I only have 854 ingots, and well, that's just not simply going to be enough, right? So as the miners kick out more ores, then we'll upgrade. This will continue to get bigger and bigger. So that's kind of some automation for just simple ore processing and keeping supplies in here. Like when the guys need something and they need ingots, they need to be able to pull in here and see ingots all the way across without having to stop and cook something. And so that's kind of take that on myself to make that process happen. We still have our little manual system set up over here. And then what else do we have? Oh yeah, I've moved the drives, right? So I've moved all of the 1K drives are here. 4Ks are there, and then as we're getting bigger and fancier, I've added 2 more 16Ks over here. Now, this one will be a 64, and then we're going to step up to the bigger boys as we go further across, right? So if I look at just drives and what's available, like look at this, like open computers drives, is crazy. So what do they call those things? Storage cells. So if I look at storage, and I look on here, it gets pretty ridiculous pretty quick, man. Spatial drives, storage, look at this. I mean, 256 on a storage component, 120. Man, it's just like, look at this. Look at this. So when we throw those storage components in there, like it's going to get outlandish. So anyway, we'll look to put some of these big boys in eventually down the road, but you can tell how they're just going to take like tons of patterns and stuff. So 364s, you know, it just gets out of hand, and we'll upgrade these down. And then we'll upgrade the fluid ones this way. So we'll probably go like 64, 128, 256, or 64 to 256 to the 1000, and then we'll do the fluids this way. So these will be the 2 big boys in here. So anyway, that's the update from our base. I can fly you out here and show you the outside where the other bases are. We've got Stavey, Jester, and Jake, and each one of those have different things in their list as well. Look in the description for their videos and their Twitches if you want to go visit them and ask them questions. They do live Twitches. So anyway, hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon. Holla.